This is our Forex blog for January 23rd, 2014, and I basically spent the entire day working on fixing some of the bugs in the trading signals. I'm hoping to release, if not tomorrow, then early to mid next week. This is our currency index, which shows you visually what each currency is doing. You can see the dollar started off in an uptrend above its hourly moving average. Then it broke down from above to below the moving average, found trouble getting back above the hourly, could not get above the 15-minute in green right here, and basically trending down all day. And basically what you want to do is sell that currency that's weak versus a currency it's likely to go up. You can see the euros was trending up nicely. The pound exploded up yesterday and was going sideways. It was above the previous day's high right here, very likely to go up. And so this makes sense to buy the pound dollar, to buy the euro dollar, and also to sell the dollar yen, because you can see the yen strong, although it's right near its upper containment band, so it might, be kind of out of steam. So let's take a look at the euro dollar first. Strong euro, weak dollar. You want to be looking to sell this. Buy this in a little bit after 2. And you can see a little bit after 2 exactly what happened. Once the dollar started to fall, and it was pretty easy to predict about an hour in advance. You had about an hour to kind of watch this chart and buy this breakout. And it went up, almost 100 pips. And from that point on, here's some of the trades that, a discretionary trader would be taking. Buy this breakout here, you're stop underneath the low of this little rectangle pattern, and you just kind of trail your stop up using either Chandelier trailing stop or just visualize a trend line underneath the lows. You might get into this trade right here with a little flag pattern, and obviously it doesn't go up and stay above the high, so you want to get out of that trade with a small win. Typically when a market goes up this much and double tops, you're kind of looking for a pullback to the 38 to 50% pullback area, but it doesn't pull back. That's a sign that it's pretty strong. So give it some time. You might want to buy this trend line break right here with your stop underneath here, and again it goes up to the high. So not knowing what it's going to do in the future, you got to get out with a small profit. Typically triple tops, if the market is going to reverse, double tops is where it's at, and then it reverses. This time it hit the third time. If it doesn't reverse, then it's definitely going to explode, and you want to buy that breakout and draw your fibs to know where to get out of the trade. Yeah, and a lot of people don't really want to learn all these rules for trading. Double tops, double bottoms. Look where it went, right to the 1.382. What I would like to say is the key to trading, rather than just win percentage, is risk versus reward. If you just waited to buy this breakout right here and you put your stop underneath that swing low, and this is your profit target right here, you can see your profit target's 2.5 times bigger than what your risk is. And the initial risk of a trade is not necessarily what you're going to lose if it doesn't work. For instance, if you buy this breakout and this is initially your stop, once it kind of goes up a certain distance or spends a certain amount of time under there, you're putting your stop really close to break even. So if it failed to go higher, and it pulled back and stopped you out, you're going to lose a lot less than what your initial risk is. Probably half of my trades that don't work that I have a loss on are less than what the initial risk was. So every time you see me talk about risk versus reward, keep that in mind. The initial risk or the reward compared to the risk might be 2 times or 3 times, but the reward compared to what the average risk is oftentimes 4 or 5 times bigger. So let's look at some other examples today. We saw that the pound was above its hourly right here, and of course it went up for a brief amount of time. It's not going to have the same kind of explosive move that the euro dollar did. But that being said, after 2 o'clock you're looking for buys, and you can see it went up from around 70 to 16. That's a 45 plus pip move. By the pullback, went up at least 10 pips. By the pullback, you broke even. You draw your trend line over this breakout right here with your stop underneath the low, went up, pulled back, never hit your stop, and eventually went up again. The dollar being weak is a pretty easy one to trade against. So let's look at some other examples today. CAD is weak all day. You can see it's having trouble getting above its hourly moving average. And you can draw trend lines on these, and anytime a currency goes down for 6, 7, 8 hours and eventually breaks its trend line, it's pretty likely to go up. Also, once you have a trend line on these, if you project it from the low, oftentimes it will come down if it's really weak and hit the trend line projected off the lows and bounce. In this case, it never got to that level, so once it does break above that, it's pretty likely to go up. Let's take a look at the strong euro versus a weak CAD, and the exact same thing happened today. Just explosive move up. There's so many different patterns you can see by looking at each currency as a chart. Here's the point of control, the price most traded during the previous day. It had trouble getting above it, pulled back, went above it again. At this point, if it breaks out, it's likely to go up. And when it doesn't, guess what? They're selling. They're selling at the high. So when it breaks down right here, it's very likely to go down. So at 12 o'clock, which currency is strong at that time, or looks to be strong, to buy this against? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Which currency is strong? It's not the CAD. The Swiss is already up way too much. Let's take a look at some of the other ones. The yen is up too much. The euro is quite likely, up too much. And but we'll take a look at the euro and also trade it against the pound. Euro New Zealand, pound New Zealand, both likely to go up at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock comes, this one goes up, about 65 pips. And same thing here. This one, when it breaks out, it went from 82 to 79. So a huge move in both these currencies. And it's pretty easy to predict that using our currency indexes.